All right, now to this story here. Firefighters say that they're concerned about the quality of the country's fire trucks. On Monday, firefighter and former All Black Steve Devine said firefighting appliances were breaking down at a rate of one a day.
Essentially, there's a fire truck that breaks down in New Zealand every day, probably multiple every day, and I just can't handle any more of the lies.
Fire and Emergency NZ has rejected Devine's claims, and the Deputy Prime Minister David Seymour said while upgrades are needed, it's nowhere as bad as it made out to be. So what's the deal? Are they falling apart or are they not? Clark Townsley is the Wellington local president of the Professional Firefighters Union. Clark, nice to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Is Steve Devine exaggerating?
I'm going to have to challenge him on that. I think there's actually probably more trucks breaking down than what he's even saying. So,
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I'm probably actually not even joking. I was actually at a fire the other night, and literally we couldn't actually open up one of the valves to let the water into the appliance. You just look at it and you look at the age of these things, and you're just shaking your head. You every job that you're turning up to, you're worried about, obviously, the public, but you're also worried about your own firefighters' safety, because you're looking at this thing and go, my God, this truck is an antique and I'm having to use it. And I'm scratching my head over the reliability for most of the gear that we're actually using now. It's quite...
Okay. Well,
yeah.
All right, so this is extraordinary. Steve Devine was underplaying the issue. Ellie Jones.
Well, very simple question. Okay, so he says that there's one breaking down every day, probably multiple. I'm not sure what the numbers would be. What we're hearing from you, Clark, is that there are more than that breaking down, so that would be more than one a day. Where are the facts? Because when we hear this, it's really worrying, and so I like to see the facts in front of me. And so do you have those?
So I could paint a bit of a picture, sort of just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with within the organisation, because I think that's a really good question. One of the key things that we were asking for from our fleet controllers was, have we got a transparent system that we can actually enter things into? Can we actually see if there's like common faults within the country? We've been asking for this since well past probably about 2015, 2016, when the MAN started coming into service, because we had multiple faults with these. Effectively, FENS, which was the fire service at the time, had actually said, no, we haven't got one, and we're not going to institute one, is what we got at the meeting. So we were all sort of scratching our head, and in the end, the union actually ended up putting together its own spreadsheets and started coming up with its own statistical data, because FENS wasn't providing to us. The only statistical data that we could get out of the fleet managers was what service costs and the amount of sort of servicing and any additional repairs were done through each of the individual service agents. We could imagine that's pretty clunky and cumbersome. So when we kind of refined it back to the MANs...
What is the MANs?
So the MANs are the main trucks that we're using at the moment.
Oh, they're a type of truck. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a Type 3, which is the main pumping appliance for most of the courier staff throughout the country. I should have made myself quite clear on that.
No, full facts or not, this is certainly an issue if they're breaking down. And if, as you say, that Steve Devine is actually underplaying it. Simon,
but do we have the facts?
Well, Steve's our guest here has addressed that. Simon.
Yeah, it's a remarkable setup. It's so bleak to see the fire appliances rolling around and the fire stations with messages begging for basic equipment and safe, so that they can provide a service to the public. Also, if you take a step back, the way that we fund fire and ambulance makes no sense considering how critical it is. Yet fire runs on volunteer services in so much of the country, and the ambulance service isn't part of the public service. It's bananas. I think, whether it's one breakdown a day or one pump or 5 intercoolers or whatever, the basic facts are we do not have a good way to fund and deliver these services as part of our political economy.
Here's a text that's just come through. If you look on the NZPFU Union Facebook page, there were multiple breakdowns today, some at or on the way to incidents. I'd like to ask you this, Clark Townsley. If you had a conversation with Deputy Prime Minister David Seymour now about upgrades, what would you say to him?
Well, the biggest thing, and I think you've actually just mentioned it, is the funding model. One of the things that we've gotten here is that how is this actually being funded? It's all through insurance levies at the moment, and it's always been the elephant in the room, but now it's becoming even more pertinent. We're providing the facts. If I go back to what I was saying before, we provided that effectively every single one of the main centres had 1,000 faults per truck. That's what we collected the data on, and that's what we got some of the changes on. So we do provide the data. There is other data out there, and if you just want to talk to us about the facts, and we can tell you what our day-to-days look like, David Seymour, happy to talk to you again. Like, I'm in Wellington, so you don't even have to travel that far.
You don't want a situation where you have to call 911 and the AA at the same time if you want to get an appliance to your house.
Triple one.
There you go. Thanks, Simon.
Yeah.
Speaking of facts.
I was trying not to do the thing where you get every Alexa in the country kind of ringing up the
Clark.
Oh, you did that intentionally. Good one.
Oh, yeah, it's a bad trick.
Clever, right? Hey, Clark, great to have you here. Thanks for your time tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
Clark Townsley, the Wellington local president of the Professional Firefighters Union.